Obamacare continues. We had quite a discussion. And I'll tell you what, I for one am ready to lead the Oklahoma Republican Party to greater heights, to serve you, to get Republicans elected. 2016 is right around the corner. And I don't know about you, but I don't want Hillary. Amen. I'm honored to share this platform with my Vice Chair, Estela. Estela, come on up if you would, please. Estela Hernandez is the Vice Chair. Stage on April the 11th, wasn't it? We were both elected that day, and we are committed to work together to grow this party. We had a very lengthy discussion yesterday, and Estela told me something extremely important that I already believe, and I'm glad she reminded me of it. She said, "Randy, we got a lot more in common than problems. The problems are out there. They're not in here." And so I am honored to share this platform today, and I want to give Estela time to greet you, to share her heart with you, and let you know that we are both committed to serve you and this party. With that, let me welcome with you Estela Hernandez, the Vice Chair.
Such an honor to be here with you, and I have to tell you, the faces in this room, it puts a smile on my heart. Why? Because each and every one of you cares about the direction that the Republican Party is going and the direction that our country is headed. And if there's any day that is so critical, is 24 hours after the ruling and the historic event that happened yesterday. It's so hard for me to even move forward because as that happened, my heart was so heavy at the thought that in my lifetime, I have seen a day where our voices, where as people of faith, looks like we're being pushed to the side. It was a very, very telling moment and how historic it was. However, before I go into my report, which I do have a report, there's a few things that we have been working on. Chairman, if I may, thank you. I do have a few things that I do want to share with you, but I think it would be very fitting that before I go into that report, I think I have to address, quite evidently, many of you, if not all, definitely have seen things play out in the last few days of a very unfortunate situation that happened, and a very verbal altercation that happened between the chairman and I this past week. But it's left me with an unsettling spirit, and it's also left me with a heavy heart, that it's something that I can't just continue working without addressing it. You see, just like each and one of you want us to unite as Republicans, I couldn't come here and say let's unite until I united with our chairman, and that's why I called him yesterday before even moving forward. And we both apologized for our behavior. I think it was very fitting, and we agreed to put our differences aside. And at the end of the day, we truly are Republicans, and we want to make sure that we do what is in the best interest of our state and in our county and in our country, but also making sure that those differences are not what's highlighted within our party, but of course the goals that we want to do moving forward. Now it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that the narrative of this story has gotten out of hand. And of course, now that we have attack pieces out on my family and me that are completely outright lies, but how can we not expect that? I truly think that we're living in an era, the Brian Williams School of Journalism, where the stories that are put out there really do go unchecked. And so I just really wanted to bring that out and just really let you know where my heart is at this point on that, and I'm prepared to work with our chairman and with each and one of you to make sure that we continue to move this Republican Party in the state of Oklahoma forward. And now I won't go into any detail, but if you want to have any questions, as I've had many of you come to me because you want to be able to get the full story. And I understand that some of you would like that reporting, and I have to say I welcome it too. Because one thing that I don't have anything to hide, and what you will see or hear in that is exactly what is out in the email that was leaked. Now, in that story, you'll see that what Randy is saying and what I am saying, I mean, everything is in that reporting, which, like I said, it is clearly, all of it is true, and would actually welcome that out. Now, going on to the purpose as to why I was elected, there are a few things that I want to be able to do within the party. And among them, of course, are community engagement. I've been working and doing that within the grassroots, and that's what actually started it for me, was wanting to get the Republican platform out there and letting individuals who don't understand our differences, letting them know what we do stand for. And in that, I've been working on this. It's about an 8-page, you could say, goals and objectives, but it's to identify minority leaders, create coalitions, recruitment, media, and communications, branding, and to educate voters. And of course, the purpose and the goal of this is to build trust in minority communities, restore the image of the OK GOP, and assist in the continued growth of the Republican Party. Within the time that I have been working with the chairman, some of the things that I've been working on is making sure that all 5 congressional districts will have roundtables. We have started the first one in the 5th district, which we did with Congressman Russell, and in there we actually outlined and had a very open discussion with minority leaders in the community, and this is not just Hispanics, we're talking about Native Americans, Indians, and many other groups, Asians, that were also present. So that's one of the things that we're working to make sure that in your congressional district, we also do that type of engagement as well. I'm also working with Lieutenant Governor Todd Lamb to also create a Lieutenant Governor's Roundtable, and so we are actively working in that as well. And what I can tell you moving forward, of course, is that my goal is to be able to continue working for each and every one of you that I humbly thank and appreciate your vote, but is to continue working on behalf of our rules and making sure that the Republican Party rules are upheld, and you as the governing body of this Republican Party, that we listen to what you have to say. I look forward to a great meeting and just having everyone's voices heard. And what I went to earlier before, it's so important that 24 hours after a ruling, such a historic ruling from the Supreme Court, that we go back, that we as Christians or Jews, whatever your faith is in this room, that we go back to those principles, that we go back and return to what made this country great and what our framers intended that to be. And one of the first things that we need to go back as believers is we need to go back to the foundation of that Bible, because that's really we are truly at a crossroads in our nation, and if we can go back to what made this country great and what the faith of our founders was, and obviously within their faith, they sought out wisdom that came from the Bible. Hence, they did and created this, our Constitution. And if as Republicans, as Americans, we can go back and fight for what's in the Constitution, then we'll start to see that we can turn our nation around. Until then, this is going to be an uphill battle. And I never thought, when I saw this on Fox News, when I saw the White House illuminated, I thought to myself, what? My jaw dropped, and I said, is this real? Is this? Surely it was. And to see how we have been put to the side as Christians. Be prepared to defend your faith. Be prepared to stand up for what is right. Be prepared, regardless if you're the only one standing. And I'd rather be the only one standing and stand for truth than to stand with the masses. And so that's what I give you today. I give you my heart, that I will stand for what is right. I won't stand for what's popular or what everybody else is doing. I'm going to stand for what I know that's in my heart. And I am the same person in this room that I am at home. So any stones or anything that wants to be thrown, you can talk to people who have known me from before and who know me from now. The Lord has done great things in my life, has done great changes in my life, not because of who I am, but because of who He is and what He's doing. So thank you so much for this time. Chairman, thank you for the opportunity, and I look forward to working with you.